shit, I lost my hanky. Or whatever the hell you call it. Hey, here we go. This is it. This is episode 432, episode 1 this week of Crash and Burn 2021. I am here with the Andys, depending on how things go this week. That's right, yeah. I think they're going to go out on tour. Is that correct or not? Andy Hendrickson and Andy Woodhull are here with me. Guys, how are you?
I would love to. I would
You
pitch
wanna
it
do a
to
tour?
Andy. Yeah, let's do
Let's
it.
get another Andy.
We were just talking about it. Yeah, let's book some theaters and see if we can make money.
The
all the
Andys.
Andys. Yeah, I definitely want to.
We need one of us that really has a draw. So let's us two.
If Andy Richter wants to get involved,
Yeah.
that could be helpful.
We need a big Andy.
If you're listening, Andy.
Andy Dick.
Andy
No.
Dick. Yeah,
The
I
guy
mean,
causes
he
too much
seems
trouble.
too
Yeah.
wild for us. We're pretty low key.
Okay, guys.
I don't know what Andy would fit good with us.
You guys have both done
That's
dry
also
bar
a-
specials.
that's
Is there a
also a
third
draw.
dry bar Andy?
There probably is.
Yeah, I'm sure there is. It's a common name, and there's about 300 of those specials.
Yeah.
So statistically,
They come out
I
once
think
a day.
that we would get another one.
Should I refresh my
Yeah,
phone and
if
see
you
if it just
refresh right
pops
now,
up?
I'm sure. I bet there's at least 3 more Andys you could find in there.
I texted Brandon earlier today, and I said, what is going to be, who am I talking to first and second? And he replied, he just called you two the Andys.
The
So that's where
Andys,
that came
yeah.
It is a cool name for the tour, too, the Andys.
Yeah.
from. Right?
I love it, but let's spell it like the mountains.
All right.
You don't confuse people.
Maybe we could get Andy's Candies to
Yeah.
sponsor because they spell it that way.
I used to get
The
those at
mints.
Christmas time because it was my name. Did you ever get those?
Not because it was my
People
name,
give it to
but
you and you're like,
I ate
Andy's.
them before.
Oh.
Yeah. There was a Euro place by my house, too, growing up that was called Andy's Euros, and we would go there, and I'd be like,
There's
welcome.
also an Andy Gump. They're porta potties. The
Andy Gump Porta Potty. Those are
Those
good.
are. I got one of those for Christmas.
I don't.
You ever go in those Andy Gump Porta Potties? You can get big poops, little poops, rope poops, loose poops, chunky poops. There's an Andy Gump
I got
little
it.
bit I was doing.
I got it. I was like, I'll just let you go. Just keep going.
Poops with
Life
corn in
is
it,
like a
poops with
box.
peanuts in it.
Box of shit.
Gump. That's fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, boy. All right, well, let's talk Crash and Burn here,
Let's
guys.
talk about it.
Mhm.
Let's talk about it. You were originally going to do this last year.
Correct.
Correct.
And then
Mhm.
COVID got involved, and it switched to Tim Slagle. A different Andy stuck around and did it, Andy Erickson, and then they had two other local comedians fill in for you. So I want to start off with this. Did either of you kind of hope COVID would cancel it this year as well?
no, I was bummed. I honestly, and I've been looking forward to this for a long time. For me, and we talked about this with me, all the comics. Like, what an opportunity to, it's like a writing intensive. You
Yeah.
know, to come up with 20 new minutes where the crowd is they understand what you're doing, and to work with other great comedians to get notes and stuff. For me, it's like, I wish I could do this multiple times a year.
Really?
Because it's a best way to develop new material. It kind of forces you to.
Oh, absolutely.
So I've been looking forward to it. So I was really glad that we were able to put it together or do it this time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, me too. It's like a camp or retreat or something.
Yeah.
Where we're getting all the material. I wish I would be on it with like stronger comics that could help my set
Right.
better, but
Well, you haven't got my notes yet,
other
dude.
than that,
You haven't got my notes. Okay. You left. You had a headache.
I had a
excuse.
bad headache last night. If you
Oh,
saw
I
the show,
had
that
a
was-
headache too, but I manned up. And I did the work, and that's gonna show tonight. It's gonna show all week.
So did either of you, did you listen back to your sets already?
Not yet. No.
There's been one show.
I have.
You
I'm a little more dedicated to the process. I listened to it this morning.
All right.
Wow. So okay, next question. Is this turning into a competition?
It was
No.
a competition from before it
Yes.
started.
No.
Yes and no. I love it.
No, it's not. It's not. I want nothing more than to watch everybody else
Kill.
kill. And I was so impressed with all the comics last night. They're really, really good. I told your joke about fighting with your wife to my girlfriend this morning. I liked it so much.
Oh, yeah.
It's so good. Yeah.
And that's the thing with the writing process. I've been prepping for this.
Yeah.
I kind of I procrastinated a little bit, but I was like looking through all my old notes. I literally brought 8 notebooks with me in my suitcase to dig through this week.
Wow.
But I have stuff on my computer, and I was like, oh, I never even tried this. Let me try and develop this. And then somewhere in that process on the plane yesterday, I came up with the joke that you're talking about that I opened with last night.
Which was very funny.
Yeah. And that's none of the stuff that I had worked on, or it was like it just came organically. But it's because you get that muscle going,
Yeah.
and it finally something good popped out after a week of prep. I know I got one solid bit, and the other stuff's I'm happy with. It's developing, but that one's like pretty much already to me a solid.
Oh yeah,
it worked out perfect.
Yeah,
so.
very little tweaking if all.
Yeah.
necessary
So
for that
anyway.
It
But
can
that's
only
how
grow.
writing is.
Yeah, that's when I get one good line that works, then you see if you grow that line to 3-4 minutes.
Right.
Yeah, what is the
sure
the
you're there.
normal process when you don't have a assignment of getting 20 new minutes? I mean, people who aren't comedians, I mean, I don't think they realize how hard it is to get a polished, solid joke. I mean, you could do it for years and years and years, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think they realize or care how hard it is.
Yeah. They don't care.
Well, yeah, make me laugh.
When I eat a
basically.
really good cookie, I'm never like, I bet this took a long time to come up with the recipe.
Right.
I respect all the hours they put in the bakery to put this cookie together. I just enjoy the end product, and I don't think for a second about what it took to make it.
Like, who first thought of granulated sugar? Right? It goes way back.
Yeah, and brought out 8 old notebooks to find this recipe.
Right.
Were there any premises in these old notebooks you're like, oh, I can't.
Oh,
In
yeah, I mean,
2021, I can't be talking about that anymore.
well, not like that necessarily, but
Even
just
not necessarily that it's a
politically
topic people
incorrect.
don't-
But there's a lot of stuff where like,
just
what
the
the
time
hell was I even thinking?
Sure.
This is awful, But you've probably heard a million different podcasts and comedians talk about their writing, and it's like a lot of people say it's like 90% of it is trash, and then you get 10% that's something.
Yeah.
But I'm always envious of those people that, and we're doing it a little bit this week, but there's those comedians who say, I don't really write. I just kind of jot down a premise and then I work it out on stage. And some of them are very successful. And you're like, man, that seems like a really awesome way to live. Yeah.
You know what? Yeah, and I do kind of a mix because I for sure just jotted down a lot of premises last night and
Right.
tried to tell the story related to them. But I do find if you sit down and write it out, you will find things that you don't find just jotting down a premise and do both things work and can work together.
Yeah. I'm sure when
for
I go
sure.
back and listen, I'm going to find
Yeah.
some stuff that I said off the cuff last night that, well, oh, okay, let me incorporate that. I'll write it down. I'll mix that in next time I tell the joke because I like that little piece. But
Did the 4 of you get together before the show last night for any little meeting or?
we all kind of sat there and fretted. It was like, I don't know if I'm prepared. I don't know how.
Yeah, we were competing who was the least prepared.
Yeah. I was nerded out. I had my computer. I had my notebooks.
Andy's got 8 old notebooks. I would say 90% of the stuff I did last night was things that happened to me last week.
Right. Yeah.
So that was my amount of preparation.
But you've known about doing
comparison.
this for how long?
For a
Yeah.
long time. But I in my head, I was like, I think it was smart to actually find old notebooks. That I should have thought of that. In my head, because you say I'm doing a week at a club and some of the fun happens, I want to talk about it that night. I don't want to be like, I'm going to save this for 5 months from now to talk
Right.
about. So I wasn't really stockpiling a 20 minutes before. I thought I would mostly write it this week.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I wrote last week before I got here. I was like trying to come up, mostly you're always going in and fixing stuff that you're currently working on. I was like, let me just try and write off the top of my head. Let me just, normally I have an idea that I want to work on. I want to work on this thing when I went to the beach or whatever it is. But just to come up with stuff out of thin air and do that free writing where that's not as productive.
Yeah,
Anyway.
finding a premise is the toughest
Yeah.
thing.
There was a moment last night where Andy, to my right. You said you threw out a thing. I don't remember what it was, but then you're like, "Oh, I didn't really have anything. I just thought something would come to me when I said that."
Yeah, it's about how much I love pumpkin spice.
That's it.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
I love pumpkin spice. I look forward to pumpkin spice season. I buy every product. I'm not I brought it up just because it's a divisive topic. Some people are really anti-spice,
Well,
but I love it.
I think I have something you can add into that. By the way, we haven't gone over Andy's set yet.
That's why I brought it up, because I was like, if I just mention I like it, maybe these other 3 great comics will write a pumpkin spice bit for me.
I thought there was something funny about
Love this.
like Christopher Columbus came to this. He landed in America because he was looking for spices.
Oh,
Something
yeah.
about them looking
Pumpkin
for
spices,
pumpkin
yeah.
spice.
I'm doing this snack show on YouTube now. This is a nice plug for my snack show. It's going to come out every other Friday, starting this Friday. But I did an all pumpkin spice episode, and that's how I talked about the history of pumpkin spice. And I said, the first Thanksgiving, the Pilgrims, they had pumpkin, and then the Native Americans, they had spices, and they were able to come together.
Right.
At the very first Thanksgiving, and that was the birth of
Pumpkin spice is like, it's got a deeper meaning than just commercial.
Yeah. It's about
selling
togetherness.
extra coffees. It's about bringing people together, different cultures.
Yeah, that's the point of it, and it brings tons of things. I mean, it's brought popcorn together with white chocolate. I had that one recently. It's brought ice cream together with pretzels and pumpkin spice. There's
that's a good
a
idea.
lot of different flavor combos and
That's
friendship
a good idea
combos.
for your snack show. That's a good idea for a show.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun.
This sounds like never-ending episodes.
Every
really.
other Friday on YouTube. We're only doing pumpkin spice.
Well, you could get. Well, I mean, we can talk about this later, but that's a great idea. You can get sponsors. If it gets really big, people will want to send you
Oh
stuff.
yeah, it's gonna be
and
huge.
You're gonna have a lot of snacks.
Oh yeah, freebies. Now we're talking freebie candies.
Love free
Treats.
stuff.
And
Sugary treats.
Snack. It's a fun word to say. Snack.
Mm-hmm.
I like it.
Was there any concern showing up with night one of when you were gonna go, like the order? I know it switches each night, correct?
It does switch. We
Mhm.
just.
Did either of you even worry about that at all?
I wasn't really concerned about it.
Mm-mm.
It's kind of like, as a comic, how many times you've been to a comedy contest or a showcase type show where you just get whatever you get and you deal with it.
Sure.
Yeah, I didn't want to be last.
You did
was the
not.
only thing I didn't want, and
That's
I
what you
was
got.
last. Yeah,
I kind of didn't want to be
last.
first, but then as I told you guys last night, as it started to settle in, I'm like, it would be better for me just to get it over with and
Mm-hmm.
get a feel for what I have here.
Right.
And we got Tim Slagle going first every night anyway,
yeah,
so
you're
you're
not
not really
technically
going
going
first. You got
first.
somebody doing 20 minutes.
Sure.
ahead of
Yeah,
you
he does the
anyway, yeah.
hosting gig there. Why didn't you want to go last?
Because I figured that Adrian and Andy would be better than me, and I didn't want to have to try to follow them with brand new material, Or,
Sure. Even
Yeah.
though there really is no expectation.
no, and it is easier. I mean, people say that, but it's easier to follow people that have done well than people that have bombed really hard. In my opinion, it's easier. I guess I just didn't want to watch you guys do awesome and then be like, oh man, I've blown this.
Right. Now, what would have been fun is if I could have snuck a photo of your set list and then just tried to riff on all those subjects, and then you go up and go, what?
That would be really fun. Yeah.
That would be a good dick
I
move.
feel like does that exist as a show already? You write a set list and then have to give it to someone else. That would be fun.
I would love that to be the extra night here or something.
Yeah,
like
it would be fun.
in between the last night's show or
There
something.
is a show called The Set List where they put stuff up on the screen, and it's usually kind of abstract, absurd combination of
yeah.
words, and you're supposed to act as if that it's just part of your set list.
Oh,
so it'll
sure.
be like whatever, anything like
Mm-hmm.
frog people, and you're like, it's tough. I did it once, and it's hard. You have to be really good at improvising.
At one point last night, you said if this was if I was doing this in L.A., I'd be getting murdered or something similar
yeah.
to that.
Yes. I feel like I've done shows in Minnesota before. Never at Acme, and this club obviously has a really great reputation, but I just feel like Minnesota people, they call it Minnesota nice, right? They're really fun loving, like they're forgiving. They understand. I could just see like if I was doing that in LA, people would be like, what are you doing? People looking at their phones or whatever.
Well, I think if you were trying to do 20 brand new minutes at a show where people paid anywhere and that wasn't the premise of the show, people would boo you off the stage because it's just not. I mean, it was very fun last night, and I was impressed at how good you guys all were. But I think anywhere, even in Minnesota, if they didn't know, if it wasn't explained at the top, they would have been like,
yeah.
It seems like these people are doing stand-up for the first time.
Right.
Right.
I feel like I've heard of them, but this is
But
just awkward.
There is a difference between even doing there's a difference, right? Because we're all seasoned.
Yeah,
where you
for
have
sure,
the
there's a
confidence
different-
where
yeah.
you can just, it's almost like, well, you're not nervous, right? Like if I bomb, I bomb.
Yeah,
You
does
know?
this bring back any of the feelings of being a new comic and trying stuff like for the very first time with really no experience? Is there any similarities?
No, because I always feel like when I was new, right? When you're new, if you have a great show and you kill, I remember feeling like it would be like euphoria for like 24 hours, and then if you bombed when you're new, it was like you were depressed for a couple days.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's like you've been doing it so long that it's just like either way, you're happy when you do well, but if you bomb, you're like, all right, I'm gonna go home and put on TV. I don't care.
But bombing does still affect me pretty bad.
Does
I
it?
had some bombs last week, and I did not feel good until I had a good set. It does still.
Well,
affect. This feels new in a way of you don't know what your first joke. You always feel good after your first joke gets some laughs, and you don't know what your first joke's going to be on this show. Really, I last night I padded my set with crowd work last night, and we'll continue to do that all weekend long.
Not against the rules, we've learned, correct?
I didn't ask if it was or not, but I
yeah.
didn't say any of those jokes that I said in crowd work before, so it seems like it should work.
Unless those same people come back.
For me, I was still nervous until literally it was probably a half hour before the show started. I kind of figured out what jokes I wanted to do, and then when I put them in order, then I started feeling comfortable. When that one new joke we were talking about that I wrote, I was like,
yeah,
okay, I'm doing that first because I got a feeling this one's going to be solid, and then I'll just go after that. But
yeah,
I don't know. I'm a little neurotic like that. I like order and structure.
So I'm curious, how do you two know each other from before yesterday?
Pickleball.
Yeah, we play pickleball together in Los Angeles.
Really?
Yeah, we're in
Well,
a men's
we have
pickleball
mutual
league.
friends.
Well, there's girls too. We're in a pickleball league, in a comedian pickleball league.
We do play pickleball.
No kidding.
Have you ever played pickleball?
No.
It's
Man, I
super-
just overheard, I was eavesdropping on my neighbor last week, and he was talking about somebody.
Did you bring your pad? I
Playing
genuinely
pickleball.
thought about bringing
I
my
almost
paddles.
was going to text you. I thought about bringing my paddle.
I wish we would have. I bet we could find a pickleball spot
it's
here.
super fun.
Explain it real quickly.
It's basically mini tennis or giant ping pong, however you want. It's a smaller court with paddles that are bigger than a ping pong paddle. They're more like between a racket and a paddle.
Yeah.
And the ball's like a dense wiffle ball. And there's a few rules that are different, but it's more like giant ping
it's
pong.
a combination of ping pong and tennis. And
Yeah.
I think it's more ping pong than tennis because I've played ping pong my life and never really played tennis, and I can play it.
Yeah.
You know.
Who's better?
I think our whole group's pretty similar
pretty
to the
similar,
same.
yeah.
There's no real Shane Moss.
Shane Moss is good.
played with us the other week, who you guys know, and was enough better than all of us that it was again. He once played.
He's a good
was
athlete.
it me and you together?
Yeah, he's a good athlete.
Or was it me and Singer together? I think it was us together.
I can't remember, but
We played him 2-on-1 and he won. It was a real bummer.
He's tall too.
He is tall. He's a big guy.
He just dominates the whole court. It was frustrating because I think we all thought we were pretty good, and then Shane came along and was like, "Oh, that's like," it was like going from the minor leagues to the pros.
Is there risk of injury playing pickleball?
Nah.
No, it's the kind of a game designed for retirees to play. I think
what I
it's
thought.
like my girlfriend's parents are really into it. Most people's parents. I think we started playing it because some comics' parents were into it, and then they had played it, and
Grant
brought
Lyon's
it.
dad
Yeah.
does it competitively, but it's fun.
Competitively.
Yeah, there's like leagues and there's
Yeah, he's
he was,
nationally
like,
ranked.
Nationally ranked. And,
Nationally ranked pickleball
dude,
player.
it's a whole thing.
Weight class.
Dave Waite told me it's the fastest growing sport in America. I don't know where he got that from. but he
ESPN
was the
probably.
one. He's the one that got everyone rolling.
Right,
on that.
yeah. Dave Waite's a great organizer. Great comedian and great organizer of activities.
Yes.
I love that. How are you guys using social media these days?
Andy's really good at it. I've
I've
been
been trying to jack up the social media because I've known the whole time I've been a comedian that social media does matter, and clubs look at how many followers you have, and it's a great way to interact with fans and get people to come to shows. But I've never been great at it, and in the last probably 4 months, I've been really focusing on doing it and posting regularly to try and build an audience. And it seems like it's working a little bit, but I don't know. I don't know if I'm doing it right. And it's always like every time there's a new thing, that it seems like a few people become famous from using that thing, and then there's the next new thing,
Right.
which is something that kept me from working hard at it, because I was like, I don't know. We already got the Instagram comics. I've got to be on the next thing.
Right.
TikTok. I remember someone telling me TikTok like 4 or 5 years ago, and I was like, man, I'm not doing that. And then I'm like, shit, I wish I would have done it.
Yeah, we should do it. It's not fun for comedians to do, I don't think, but I think it does matter, and anything that gets people to come to shows is important and ends up being fun and worth it.
It's nice when you get feedback and people start following
Mhm.
you and they come to the show because they saw your stuff on social media and stuff. So
Right. The biggest downside is so you post stuff, and reading nice comments is so fun, and then reading a mean comment will just ruin my day to the point where I don't read the comments at all anymore. And sometimes people will come to shows and be like, I talked to you in the comments, you didn't say anything back. And I'd be like, oh, that's because one person said something mean to me, so I can no longer open the comments.
Here's
Wait,
what's
I'm shocked that someone even expected a reply.
I don't know that. Yeah. Just last week they were like, because sometimes, how they tell you to write these social media posts is to ask a question,
Right.
to get the engagement. That's what drives the numbers. I'm talking totally out of my ass. I don't know. So I think that's why they expect me to respond, because I did ask a question.
I see. Sure.
And they answered, and I didn't respond. So it's maybe I got to I got to get over people.
What's your
saying mean
favorite
things
kind
to
of
me.
ice cream? You can always tell it's so calculated when someone asks a question. They're like, oh yeah, you're trying to drive up engagement.
Yeah.
But the worst part for me was I would
pumpkin
spend time
spice.
like a great clip of me telling a joke that I'm proud of, and the great crowd reaction, and then I go in there and I put the title on it, and then I do the subtitles all myself. I learned how to do all that.
Yeah.
Post it. For whatever reason, you post it on the wrong day. It does okay, like whatever, let's say 30 likes or something, or 50 likes or whatever. And then I'll post a picture of my dog at the beach or something, and it gets like 100 likes. And you're like, well, that doesn't feel like,
No, there's no consistency, and it'll drive you insane to see like what connects with people versus what doesn't.
But the key is what Andy's doing, and I've been tracking his account because I follow him on Instagram, and I see he always posts, and they're great, like good graphics, and the way he does is really good. And I was watching his account, like the numbers shooting up, so he's doing something.
Yeah, regular posting, I guess, makes a difference.
Yeah,
if there's any comics watching and you want to know this, I mean, it's not a secret. It was told to me by someone that knows what they're talking about. Is consistency to post on a regular basis. Here's a full secret. Here's everything I'm doing. On Monday, I post a meme. On Tuesday, I post a reel. On Wednesday, I post a show promo. And on Thursday, I do a video post.
Look at that. And then every other Friday will be your
and every other Friday is
show.
going to be a snack show.
Yeah, look at that.
Yeah.
We are getting close to being done with this one, but I cannot leave without bringing up last night. You did a joke. And then, I'm sorry. You started advertising your T-shirt that you're selling based on a joke you can't do on stage here.
Yeah.
Incredible.
Well, listen. Here's the thing. And I I don't. I'm so happy to be. Andy and I. Neither one of us have worked this club really before, so it's like so fun to be doing this show in particular. But it's also a chance to come play this club that I think all comics in the country talk about as being one of the top 3 clubs in the country. So it's like a great opportunity on every level. But also, there's 4 headliners on the show, so I did bring T-shirts to sell after the shows.
Love it.
And it's not a joke. I can tell.
Well, you should see if you could add a clause to that.
Well, I think what I'm going to do is like I have it's a T-shirt. It's a joke about my dog, and I could do other jokes about my dog. I think I'm just gonna do a different dog joke.
Write a joke that fits the shirt.
Fits the shirt, yeah. I mean, I think any dog joke will fit the shirt, and I'll just be like, you know what I didn't do last night either that helps sell shirts is bring one on stage. Bring it on stage, yeah.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Well, I brought some download cards, which I forgot to mention last night. So now you're gonna have some
please sell them too, so that I'm not the only one standing there at the end of the night.
So I was walking out last night, and you were standing there with the bag of shirts. And as I was walking away, the very first person that came up after me was, "Okay, show me the shirt, but can I hear the joke?" Like, that's gotta be. And I don't know how you handled that. I just kept going.
I told her the whole joke.
You did? Just one on one?
I told her the joke. Yeah, just one on one. I mean, it's a good joke. It's solid. She did not buy it.
No,
she did not buy it. She
not
did not buy
good
it.
enough.
She did not buy it. She took a sticker. I give away stickers for free. She took a sticker, but she did not buy the shirt. No.
She asked you to tell the joke.
Yeah, no,
and then
but I mean, I didn't like perform it. I told it to her. I was like, "Well, here's what it's about."
All right, here it is.
Yeah, I
My
did
dog.
it like that.
Is it kind of like that?
Yeah, that's how I did it.
You gonna buy a shirt or not?
I have a dog.
That's got to be awkward. Anytime someone corners you one-on-one is like, make me laugh. Tell me one of your jokes. Right?
I tell a street joke when people do that. I don't get too annoyed by it. I just tell a street joke when people say, "Tell me a joke." I don't tell one of mine. I just tell a joke that I like.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Yeah, and
that
then
makes sense.
You don't have to be like, "Oh, come on." It's fun to tell just jokes, and then they'll tell you a joke. And then you can go home and be like, "You'll never believe how racist this joke is that this person told me."
Right.
Yeah. Do you know who's racist?
And then you tell that joke the next time.
Get a huge laugh.
And huge laugh. And then they top it. And then by the end,
now
you're
you
the
gotta
most
follow it.
racist
Yeah.
person
Now you have
on
the
it.
#1 podcast. Fellas, I wish you tons of luck the rest of the week. How confident are each of you that you're going to be leaving here with 20 minutes you can take to your next city?
I feel confident I'll have 15. Did that sound confident?
Yeah.
I think I'll
Yeah,
come out
I
of here
think so
with
too.
15.
I feel like it would be insane to leave with a polished 20. That would be a dream. But
Right.
yeah, I think leaving with 15, leaving with 10, I would be like. Usually, I leave a week with like 1 or 2.
Yes.
You know? Or like a joke got expanded, and I'm really happy that 2 new lines work. So to be leaving a week with, well, I'm
even 10 would be great. But if you come out with 10, 15 polished, I'm super happy. I'll probably tonight try and mix in some other stuff that I didn't do. He was telling us it was like David Crow came in and did different 20s, and by the end of the week he closed and did a whole 45 of all new.
That's ridiculous.
That's
insane,
impressive.
right? If you could just do 45, and it was all good. It's impossible. Justin, I would love to ask you this question. You've watched these for years.
Yeah.
Who's been your favorite? Who has
Totally
blown you
crushed
away
it.
with what they were able to do
Good question.
in a week?
Good question. The first one that pops into my mind is Sarah Schaefer from a few years ago.
Yeah,
She was amazing.
she's very funny.
amazing. From night 1, she was really good, and then it just got better. I think I
Wow.
watched Friday or Saturday, and yeah, that's the first one that comes to mind. Sarah Schaefer killed it.
That's awesome.
She's been putting some really funny stuff up on Twitter too.
Oh,
lately.
she's a great follow on social media.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's great with the videos and the words. She's really good. And then finally, guys, can either of you help me move on Sunday?
Yes. Oh no, my son flying back.
All right.
Dang.
I have a bad back.
Oh man, I got COVID. That's one of my jokes. Whoa, I got COVID.
I got a joke about moving too in my set, like in my real set right now, about hiring movers for the first time.
Oh yeah, I saw that
'Cause
joke.
I'm older now, and I asked my friends to help me move, and they're like, "Just get your life together." No, once you reach an age, your friends won't help. Are your friends really helping you?
No, but
Yeah, you gotta hire
I'm
people.
no. In fact, it's very close to your joke in that I'm not really asking my friends, but I also can't afford to help to hire movers. So I've been moving by myself basically every day for the last 3 weeks, and I
You
still.
know what we
Oh,
should do?
man.
A percentage of Andy and Andy's merchandise sales will go towards hiring
Movers for you, yeah.
for you.
All right, cash, credit. What do you accept for those T-shirts? Either.
Yeah.
Cash or credit or Venmo. Yeah, it's set up on my website. You can buy them right now.
Let's say 10%, and then if so you'll probably get like $20, $20 at the end of the week.
Which isn't going to help with your move at all, but could maybe get you a sandwich.
Yes.
That
Which
sounds good.
would be nice after a hard day of moving.
Hard day.
I'm
of
moving close to a taco shop. That
Yeah,
sounds
maybe
good.
a taco. I mean, the money's yours to spend on what you want. There's no restrictions.
Aw,
we
thank
give
you.
willingly.
No rules like Crash and Burn. Thank you, guys. This has been great. Come back. Hopefully, you'll both be back. We can do solo no laugh tracks soon.
For sure.
Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you.
All right. Thanks, man.
Thank you.